Belgium have done it. The controversy that surrounded this match, and Belgium managed to deliver. Donald Trump's involvement, Gianni Infantino's involvement, the red card, but it is Belgium that are through to the quarter-final. Welcome to the Blue Gaffer FC. Welcome to my full in-depth tactical breakdown of Belgium, where I go through how they've played, their tactical systems, their positions, their formations, and how far do I see them getting as already being one of the last 8 teams at this World Cup. If we have a look at Belgium so far, I think they were underwhelming in the first 2 games, and everybody was actually worried about them having possibly a shock World Cup group stage exit. But after the draw against Egypt, the draw against Iran when they played with 10 men, they then managed to not only win against New Zealand, but absolutely smash New Zealand, which I think put them on a really high in terms of their motivation, in terms of their momentum. And the Senegal game, this is where I'm going to speak with a little bit of bias, because my TikTok video, if you don't follow me on TikTok, check out the Blue Gaffer FC. My Belgium-Senegal video got over 14,000 views, over almost 1,000 likes, and over 200 comments. We had such huge engagement on that video because I discussed a little bit how atrocious the behavior of the Senegal Football Federation and the Senegalese players were in that game. A lot of people from Morocco obviously have a little bit of a dig at Senegal, were present on that video. A lot of people obviously from Belgium were celebrating that I was celebrating your country, your nation winning the game. So I thought to honor that little bit of success that we had on the Blue Gaffer FC, let's make this long form video about Belgium, because across my YouTube and especially TikTok, there are a lot of people that have engaged with my channel that are from Belgium. So hello to all of you. If you're watching this and you're not yet subscribed, please do subscribe to the channel. Lots of content like this is coming. Yesterday, the United States of America beat America. Yesterday, Belgium beat the United States of America 4-1. And I think that's a result that nobody expected. Maybe you did. If you did it, comment in the comments that you expected it. I certainly didn't. I thought the US have played brilliantly at this World Cup thus far. And if you've checked out my USA Dark Horses video uploaded about 2 weeks ago or so, I detailed this as to exactly how and why. And then when the US got through in the round of 32, after they defeated, oh my goodness, it's gone through my brain now. I've completely forgot who they defeated now in the last round. By getting into the round of 16. And I just thought that the game would be so much better, but it wasn't. It wasn't, and Belgium controlled the game in every single metric. And let me know your thoughts, what you think of the Florian Balogun red card situation. I think either way, the controversy didn't help America. It didn't help them. You know, I think for me, it's rules are the rules, whether we agree with them or we don't agree with them. You know, when Senegal walked out because a penalty was given against them against Morocco, that's not how you behave. That's against the rules. It doesn't matter what your opinion is. It matters what the referee's opinion is, because he makes the final decision. And you know that before you enter a football match. If you're not happy with an official making a decision, don't play football, because the sport is officiated for fairness. And then Senegal's behavior as well against Belgium, when the penalty was awarded, the way they were all crowding the referee, the way that the one idiot decided to lay down on the penalty spot. I mean, it's ridiculous. What are you doing? And that's why I called Senegal a disgrace, because behaving in that way is not normal. So I think the Florian Balogun situation, is it a red card? For me, no. But in the moment, after a VAR check, because of the way he lands and essentially stomps on his ankle, and that can literally be a leg breaker, I think ultimately it's a decision that I still don't agree with it. And I would have challenged it if I was the US manager, of course, and I would have appealed it, absolutely. But I think once you make a decision, once VAR makes a decision and the referee has a look and makes a decision, you have to give it as a red card. So let's talk a little bit, moving away from the controversy, let's talk a little bit about Belgium. I've been really, really impressed with them tactically. I mentioned in my round of 16 preview and round of 32 review that that Belgium have been one of the underwhelming teams. But I think as the tournament's gone on, they've really, really picked up. I love their system. This classic 4-2-3-1. It's really the Belgium DNA. They control the game. They know how to be direct. They know how to play with a certain level of intensity. You know, they have key players still. Courtois, Lukaku, De Bruyne, Doku, Trossard, Tielemans, Castagna, Onana, Lukaku. And I've probably missed a couple. It's a really, really core of a strong, good group that are just about still in their golden generation. This is probably their last opportunity, because in 4 years' time, Courtois, Lukaku, De Bruyne might no longer be here. So I think this is their real opportunity. Now, what I noticed about Belgium is they build in a 2-3-5 system. So what I mean by that is their fullbacks will jump up into the midfield line, and they build with the 2 centre backs, and then they have 3 across the middle. All right, and then they have their 5 up top. So it's usually Lukaku, Doku, De Bruyne, Trossard, and Tielemans, who goes a little bit higher as that sort of 8 playmaker role. And then you have Onana, Castagna, and the Coupier, I'm pronouncing that correctly, as the 3 that sort of go up, and the fullbacks come a little bit on the inside, or at least one of them does. And they build in this sort of 2-3-5 shape. Sometimes it's a 3-2-5 shape. And I've been really, really impressed with Belgium, I think, with this system. Out of possession, I think they've approached it really smartly, and against the USA, they did this really, really effectively. They just drop into this 4-5-1 out of possession mid block, and that 5 across the middle is really important, because as soon as the opposition enter that sort of halfway line, they pounce and they're there, and they're able to win the ball back, and then they transition and they go really, really fast on the counter attacks, using the likes of Doku, Trossard, Lukaku, De Bruyne, Tielemans, Lukaku. I forgot the striker's name who played in the first half, who scored 2 goals. They're really, really solid, really, really solid, and they have this sort of, like I say, last burst of golden generation, that winning mentality. So it's going to be interesting to see how far they go. And this is the question. This is what I'm talking about, that golden generation. Is this Belgium's final chance? Is this their last opportunity? A World Cup semi-final in 2018 with a 3rd place finish, a Nations League semi-final in 2021. So they've always been, over the probably last 6 to 8 years, they've been, one of the top 3, top 4, top 5 nations in world football. But it just hasn't materialized for them in terms of winning a big trophy. I think they can do it. I really, really think they can do it. I think they have more than the ability to win these big games. I think they have everything that it takes to win the World Cup. I mean, just look at the players on the screen. Doku, Tielemans, Courtois, Trossard, De Bruyne, Lukaku, and others that I've mentioned already in this video. That is enough of a foundation to win you big matches at a World Cup. These players are not only so experienced, not only do they have winning mentalities from their clubs, but they're fighting for their nation here. And they know this is a massive moment in their history to try and win a tournament as prestigious as the World Cup. And this is the big game. This is what we're all looking forward to. The quarter-final, Belgium versus Spain. And I mentioned this, if you haven't checked out my Spain video, make sure you do this, especially especially as the Spain game, as the Belgium against Spain game is coming up. I think Spain have been poor at this World Cup. I know they're the only team now, some record about not conceding in 6 games in the World Cup in a row. And I think that's probably the only thing that's kept Spain at this tournament, is the fact that they've been so defensively solid. Although I think Cape Verde, Uruguay, and even yesterday Portugal had opportunities to score against Spain had they been a little bit more clinical. Had they had maybe a Lukaku, a De Bruyne, a Trossard, a Doku, a Lukaku, a Tielemans. You never know. And I look at this Spain team and Spain's DNA and their style of football. And I've spoke about this before, and I'm going to make a bit of a longer video on me as a coach and my experiences. And I've had experiences in Spain as well, particularly with Atletico Madrid, which I'm going to tie upon in a future video of mine. Their DNA and the way they play football and the way they educate coaches is top level, and it's one of the best in the world. So I've got a lot of respect for Spain, but I think Belgium have, if I compare the 2 teams just on this World Cup alone, I think Belgium have been better. I think Belgium have a better midfield. I think Belgium have a better attack, and I think Spain have a better defense. Because I look at the midfield and I think De Bruyne and Tielemans are solid. I look at the attack and I think Lukaku is better than Oyarzabal. And I think, okay, you have Lamine Yamal, but Doku, Trossard, and Lukaku are better than whoever Spain have on the opposite side. At the back, I agree. The likes of Laporte, Cucurella, Spain have a better defense. But Belgium, for me, I really, really think, especially with the momentum gain, they can go on to win this match. I think it's going to be an incredible game because the Spain-Portugal game was so boring. I made a very short video yesterday about it. No words apart from how boring it was. So let's see how the Belgium-Spain game goes. And then obviously if Belgium were to reach the final, this is something we do on the Blue Gaffer FC channel for every nation that I'm breaking down. We talk about the predicted road to the final, and Belgium's one is Spain, France, England, or Argentina, in my opinion, and also based on what the data says. So are Belgium good enough to get past all of these opponents? I don't know. I really don't know, but I think it's their last chance, their last moment. I think their manager has been criticized unfairly. He's made big, bold decisions, but they've paid off, and you can't criticize him for that. Because when he benches the likes of De Bruyne, whether that maybe De Bruyne simply isn't fit, or because De Bruyne didn't even seem annoyed. He hasn't seemed annoyed. Every time he comes off the pitch, he shakes the manager's hand. When he was on the bench yesterday, he was up on the chairs watching it. He's so engaged. It's like he fully respects what the manager is trying to do. Whereas Doku, when he came off in the last game, he was stropping and moaning, and he was really, really poor. And not against US, I mean in the game before against Senegal. And actually, when De Bruyne and Doku came off and Lukaku came on, well, he's been amazing. I think he deserves to start. So, you know, I think Belgium, the good thing with Belgium is they have so many. I don't think Spain have as many forward options. And I think maybe not for this World Cup, because Spain have already proven they're one of the last 8 teams. You know, they're successful. They can be successful. But later down the line, Spain really need to work on their attackers, because apart from Lamine Yamal, they don't have that many promising forwards that are really going to take on players, because the Spanish DNA and approach to possession style football doesn't create the likes of Hazard, Trossard, Doku, Lukaku, you know, all of these sort of players that, for example, Belgium have, because their DNA is completely different. And when I say DNA, I don't mean human DNA. I mean the tactical identity and approach to a country's footballing beliefs. So I think it's going to be an incredible game either way, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Have Belgium got enough to go all the way through? This is yet another one of our full Blue Gaffer FC tactical breakdowns on a nation. Just so that you're aware, if you're watching this when it's out, tomorrow there is a Uruguay video on Bielsa. I'm also going to upload a video on Japan and Germany. Germany heading into a new era under Jurgen Klopp. That's going to be interesting. Japan have that target of winning a World Cup by 2050, and I'm going to review their World Cup and their chances of meeting that goal and why I think they could achieve that. There is also going to be a video on Morocco, because as well as on my TikTok and YouTube, my Morocco community is blown up and they're in the quarterfinals. So I'm hoping before the France game or just after the France game, even if they lose, we'll do a review of Morocco. And that's going to be up on the channel. Obviously, my round of 16 review and quarterfinal predictions are going to be up on the channel before the opening quarterfinal game, either on the day or the night before. I'm not sure yet. I have to wait for all the round of 16 games to finish and then record it. So there's so much content coming to the channel. By the time the World Cup is finished, we are going to cover between 13 to 15 nations, some of which have already been covered, obviously, but a total of 13 to 15 nations at this World Cup. So like I say, you've got Belgium now, you've got Uruguay tomorrow, Morocco next, Japan and Germany after that. So there's another 5 nations being broken down for you. If you have another nation that you wish for me to break down on the channel, comment it below and I'll do that. If I'm not able to do it in time and do a full long form video, we can do it as a shorts. I can post it on my TikTok. There's lots of options where this content is engaging. Instagram, TikTok and YouTube. If you search the Blue Gaffer FC, obviously you'll find me. My LinkedIn and TikTok are actually now linked in my YouTube page, so you can find them on my channel. You know, follow me on LinkedIn. I have over 10,000 followers there. Follow me on TikTok. Like I said, our Belgian video blew up with 14,000 views there. And subscribe to me on YouTube. We're really building this Blue Gaffer FC community. Like and subscribe, comment your thoughts. Let me know how Belgium are going to do. Again, if you're from Belgium, from Morocco, whatever it might be, subscribe to the channel, because those videos are coming to you very shortly on their way. See you guys on the next one.